Alright, here on the bench today, we're doing something a little different than what most hams do. Here in front of me is an Icom IC27H that's in pieces right now. As you can see, it's been completely disassembled, and that's because it currently has a no audio output fault. If I crank the volume up here, nothing. You can see it's on 147.40. If I key the handheld, nothing. Alright, so what I did was I went online and I found the schematic for this radio, right? And schematics are laid out like this. This circuit right here, oop, the camera focus. Maybe I'll just get a close up on it. This circuit here, there we go, is the audio amplifier circuit. You can see the big triangle is the transistor, and the actual legs on that transistor. Zooming in is smart. Okay, here we go. The 4 legs on, or 5, I think it's 5, yeah, 5 legs on this transistor. This is a power amplifier transistor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I went is I took my little multimeter here and I checked that pin number 3, which is right in the center here. Pin number 3, I made sure that it had ground, and it did. And I also checked these 2 capacitors, and as you can see, these are different from the stock, and that's because they were out of spec. They were way off. So those have been replaced. Down here on the op amp though, as you can see, I have a wire soldered on here, and that was for testing. And I discovered when I put my meter on here that the line, which was supposed to be getting plus 8 volts, was getting 0.7 volts. So somewhere along the line there, we have a problem where power is not getting delivered to this here chip. So what I've rigged up here, well, I haven't rigged it up yet, but the wire is soldered on there. But I'm going to connect up a lead to 12 volts, and I'm just going to clip it on here and see if it works. Oh, I hear static. Oh, there we go. So that potentiometer definitely needs some maintenance. But we have static now. See the handheld here. That is working. One thing that made me kind of move in this direction rather than tracing back to the AF output was the fact that when you powered this radio on, even if you had earphones plugged in, you would not even hear a pop. You would hear absolutely nothing. So there you go. Plus 8 volts, or plus 12 volts in this case, to the power amplifier. Made it start working. So there you go, guys. If you ever have this issue, check out the power amp and see if you have 8 volts. Now let's get on with the fun part, which is going to be wiring up this here Echo mic. Superstar DM1000 Tornado microphone. Oh man, it's a tornado! We're going to have a tornado with our voice when we talk with this thing. We're going to set that up with this radio. So let's get into that. Alright, the bench is even messier now, but we have the radio is semi-functional. Power it on here. We have working audio, but the squelch knob is almost non-functional. You can see the squelch practically never turns off. So I was able to find and order a new squelch knob. The only problem with this is that the center pin is nowhere near the same size as the old one, so we're going to have to figure out a solution to that, or just live with it and have no volume knob. Let's go ahead and swap this out here and see if we can get our squelch working a little better. And there you go! We swapped out the potentiometer. Now squelch is working perfectly. Let's put this thing back together. Alright, here we are back on the bench. We've got the radio put back together. Unfortunately, because of the shape and size of the replacement squelch knob, I'm not going to be able to put the factory little cover back on it. But this is going in a work vehicle, and it's just going to be kind of like a bare bones thing, so it's alright. I can still get to it with my fingers, and it's not really bothering me. If I were doing this as a repair job for someone else, I would definitely not satisfy with that. But squelch is working, as you can see. Working quite well. Volume control works too. If I just open the squelch, you can hear. Everything appears to be working. If we click this over to... This is one thing I don't understand about this radio. Who would want to tune to that? I don't know. But when you tune around, it kind of can act a little strange. So you have to like... Oh wait, that's the scan button. I gotta read the manual. There we go. Look, now we're at 146.4. And if I take a radio here... I like using vintage radios, that's why I got this. Here I have a vintage Kenwood handheld. And if I key it down, let's see, that's working. And then if I transmit with this, this has a little S meter. Oh yeah, I love this little radio because it has an S meter on top of the radio. See if I can get a shot of that. Anyway, so that's working. Right now I just have a stock Icom microphone that goes to a 7300. We're going to swap it now for a CB mic. Yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, here we are back on the bench. It's been a little bit of time. The radio has been put back together. Everything's fully functional, and we have the Superstar wired up here. It's all working good. I'll put up an audio sample here in just a second. But basically, here's the wiring. This was all had to be found by trial and error. I tried using diagrams online and I just couldn't get it to work. So we had to play around with this a bit, and I confirmed this works with not just the Superstar, but with this here Cobra and this Uniden. This is the pinout. So CB is on this side, Icom's on this side. So pin 1 goes to pin 6, pin 2 to pin 1, pin 3 to pin 5, and pin 4 to pin 7. And this all corresponds to ground, transmit, receive, mic. I think that's the order they... Or ground, mic, transmit, receive. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, there's the pins for you. And this is a mic wired up for the Cobra / Uniden / almost universal way everything's wired up. Let's go get an audio sample going. This mic here freaks out in the presence of high RF, and this little system I have here for the antenna really just isn't ideal. I've been running the radio at low power, but I still think there may be high SWR. So we're going to put this out in the mobile and do an audio check.
Kilo Mike 4, Oscar Victor Zulu, and I just got down. 425 North Alabama, 425 North Alabama, working this here Icom 27H. This here Icom 27H, ain't no doubt about it. I got the echo mic on, right here on this here Icom 27H. And it's sounding good, real good, no doubt about it right there. 425, and I just keep down all over the North Alabama, and I'm gone.
So as you can see there in that demonstration, this radio now sounds like a CB. Great! We've got... Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get on a repeater or something like that and try this out. It's going to piss off so many people, but there you go. That is an Icom 27H wired up with a CB radio microphone.
And I just got down.
There you go. Lots of feedback because that mic's so...
I just got down. Oh boy, look at that. I just got down. Stay wide.
Amazing. There you go, guys. Icom 27H wired up like a CB. Bye, 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 bye.